it's time to take a look at one of the most shockingly good series of films in the last decade as far as animation goes, aka the LEGO Movie franchise. Filled to the brim with over 2 sequels, 2 spin-offs, and a ton of humor, you'd expect this commercially biased series to essentially just be a giant commercial for LEGO, and while it is a series that has earned critical praise from thousands of fans and audiences alike. All the recent events of the LEGO Movie 2 being released, it's time to see if this series is overrated or if they are right when people say everything is truly awesome about this franchise. Okay, what exactly is there left to say about the LEGO Movie? This is a movie that no one, and I mean no one, was expecting would actually be good. And not just a good movie, an instant classic that would absolutely change the game for animation. This is a movie that has already sparked tons of imitators, all of whom have essentially failed to make even a barely competent movie, and has only elevated this one singular film. Not to mention a film that has a fantastic voice cast, gorgeous animation, laugh-a-minute-long jokes and sight gags, and a deconstruction of the very idea of what the hero's journey is supposed to be. Ahem. The plot of the film follows Emmett, a construction worker who is unexpectedly mistaken as the prophesied savior of the LEGO universe, the Special, who must stop the evil dictator Lord Business from gluing the entire universe together. First off, Emmett is probably one of my favorite characters to come out of movies in the last decade. He's not really a good hero material, but he's actually intelligent and never ever feels annoying, which is always a good thing, especially when you have a character who is very optimistic and also ridiculously incompetent until the very end of the movie, but that doesn't really matter. Also, the cast as well is also great. Like, seriously, even the random robot lady thing from the saloon is great. On top of that, the movie is always pulling fast ones on you and always making you guess things are going, and also pulls one of the most what the crap twists that have ever been pulled in animation. This is a movie where when I was 13, I had thought I had seen everything an animated movie could pull, but then this thing came along and pulled it onto the rug. Aside from the fact that it also balances tons of themes on society, commercialism, father-son dynamics, and what does it actually mean to be special, the film still is enjoyable and insightful on each viewing. I really tried to think of something bad to say about this one, but I couldn't. I really couldn't. And this is coming from someone who is willing to look at pretty popular movies and be able to pull a nitpick or two out of them. But I just can't. Everything you've heard about this one is true. The LEGO Movie is an absolutely amazing movie and an adore score out of me. This is where things get interesting. Had you asked me if the LEGO Batman movie was the best thing ever on the first 2 viewings I had of it, I would definitely say yes. But unfortunately, on repeat viewings, the LEGO Batman movie sort of becomes a bit annoying. Not bad or unenjoyable, the kind of movie you watch once or twice every 6 months or so. There, that better explains it. The plot follows Batman as he must raise his newly adopted son, Robin, and stop the Joker from destroying Gotham. So, like, every Batman movie that isn't the Dark Knight trilogy. Anywho, first off, Will Arnett flat out rules as Lego Batman. He's always delivering every joke he can pull and is definitely just, owning absolutely every scene he's in. The rest of the cast is great, but most of them are sort of unable to come as close to Will, I think. Except for, surprisingly, Zach Galifianakis as the Joker. Seriously, who would have thought of Zach Galifianakis as the Joker? The humor is on point, the animation is absolutely stunning, and the main theme of accepting friends as your family surprisingly hit home really hard. Also, the scene of Batman fighting every single one of his enemies is one of the most hyper and flat-out awesome scenes ever put to animation. That being said, I feel that the movie sort of gets too massive, one could say. This really happens to me right around the time when the different movie villains just show up in the middle of the movie in the end of the second act. It's not that it's bad, it's just a case of too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. Not to mention, as I said on repeat viewings, the film can really grate on your nerves after a while. Because there are just so many scenes where there are like 6 jokes happening all at once. I would also say that this isn't a great Lego movie. It's a great movie and definitely a great Batman movie, but as a movie that should be marketing itself as a Lego movie, it sort of fails in that regard. That being said, it's still really good, and I would honestly say it's still an adore score out of me. So, you win some, you lose some, I guess. Okay, I've talked a lot about this movie, so I'll keep it brief. I really enjoyed this movie. It is the weakest of the 3, but still fantastic. The live action scenes are so unnecessary. The pacing of the first act is off, the ultimate weapon joke is dumb, and the rest of the ninja definitely gets sidelined. But the theme of the movie, tackling how the relationships in our own lives impact us and make us who we are, is something that many movies aren't able to fully state, and the Lego Ninjago movie is able to do that. Plus, 2 scenes have elevated this from an 8 to a 9, and Dave Franco and Justin Theroux absolutely kill it. The Lego movie is an adore score out of me. Now, to talk about the big one. Oh boy, it's time to talk about the Lego Movie 2, the second part. It's been 5 years since the first movie, and Emmett and his friends are now in an apocalyptic world where Duplos have ravaged their world, and it's only gotten worse when aliens from the Star system take his friends. Now Emmett must team up with a mysterious hero named Rex Dangervest. I can't believe I'm saying this right now. And says it saves his friends from Queen Watanabe. Well, this one's gonna be interesting to talk about. I can honestly say that this movie is pretty much on par with the other 3. The cast is great, the animation is fantastic, and once again, the humor manages to shine through. Not to mention, once again, there are quite a few great themes in here. I don't want to ruin it, but this film took on a very insightful examination of growing up, gender roles and toys, as well as the age gap that can also come with, playing with toys. Similar to the first, each of the themes build into and strengthen the others, all of while managing to succeed at, dare I say, a pretty fantastic sequel. I will say the film isn't as good as the first. Some of the pacing is off in a few areas, and some of the twists near the end of the second and third act felt a bit predictable. But then again, there are a few I wasn't even expecting, and the film takes advantage of even the predictable twist to strengthen its narrative, like no other animated film I've, seen in a while. Easily the second best in the series, and an adore score out of me. It's sort of sad that this one is already being called a big box office flop, even though most of it was probably due to the weather and the government shutdown here in America, along with the fact that the film wasn't completely released in all the rest of the world yet. But even then, I still think the film will earn money. I doubt Lego Movie 2 flopping as people not wanting any more of these, and the franchise will still be around. Trust me, there are 2 of these still in development, unless both of them get canned. Then we got a problem. But that being said, it'll probably be around if the merchandise sales mean anything for Lego. Heck, I'm glad I can say without a doubt the Lego Movie is a franchise now. Not one that was just good, but one that is actually great and manages to be funny, insightful, and entertaining at the same time. I've never felt angry or mad at any of these, and I can honestly say while none of them are really going to shine as brightly as the first, I can say without a shadow of doubt, everything is awesome about the Lego movies.